Good morning, you're watching Sunrise with Sarah Jane Mee and Jonathan Samuels. We start with a major shake-up of the country's rail network, which the government says will lead to more reliable services and a better experience for passengers.
Under the reforms, Network Rail will lose its complete control of England's railway tracks, which will be opened up to competition from private companies.
Well, today's announcement comes as passengers on Southern Rail have been warned to expect more misery. The RMT union starting a 3-day strike. Sky's Ashish Joshi reports.
The Transport Secretary has never tried to hide his belief that the country's train operators should also be the ones looking after the tracks. Today he gets his wish when he announces that Network Rail will be stripped of its monopoly in what is a major reorganisation of the country's rail system.
The recommendation government had last year from the independent report carried out by the Director of National Grid, Nicola Shaw, used to run one of the big rail organisations, into how best to do things. She said, give more responsibility to the people with day-to-day control of the individual routes. We're going to do that, but we're going to mesh their teams with the train operators as well.
Mr Grayling has lost patience with a publicly funded Network Rail, blaming it for driving up the cost of running the railways by falling behind on projects. It means for the first time companies like Virgin will be given responsibility for maintenance and repairs. They believe, like the Transport Secretary, that now they'll be able to carry out repairs more quickly, reducing delays and hopefully fares too. This is exactly what the train operators have been asking for. They say by looking after the tracks, they'll be able to look after their passengers better. Surprisingly, Network Rail seems to agree. In a statement, Network Rail said, competition must be at the heart of any organisation that wants to behave like a private sector business. Competition breeds efficiency and innovation and will further encourage our teams to push aside the barriers holding them back. But the response I got from weary commuters in West London was pretty mixed. They all welcomed an improved service and the possibility of cheaper tickets, but were concerned about too much power being given to the train operators.
Why would we let them look after the tracks if they can't look after their own trains?
You think there should be a separation?
Absolutely.
I think it would perhaps make the train companies feel more responsible for their part of the track that they're dealing with.
I, for one, could say I've got a lot of faith in how the system is at the moment.
Most commuters don't care who runs what, just as long as they have an efficient, affordable, safe rail network. The idea is to give them just that. It might happen, but only if private companies don't put profits ahead of passengers.